Dr. the B, humble himself to be known as, PA for now, doctor eventually, but not just now. Drummer, pianist, guitarist, creative. Oh, and if that's not enough, he's a singer too. He's got these sweet ass set of vocals like an angel, set in the physical form with like the whole gimmick he's got going on with the outfit too. But other than that, he's a very humble kid, a very good kid. And thank God for, of course, shout outs always to Brendan and his old affiliates, his squad, Brendan, Frankie P and Frankie Payne, excuse me. But we can't leave out, and today's sole focus is on today's guest, Dr. Mike.
What's good?
What's good, brother? Long overdue.
I'm so it's so weird for me to think about a stage name that is not my name. I feel like that part of creativity has not developed in me. You know what I mean? Where I'm able to fit myself into a persona per se.
So whatever you come up with, is it gonna be is Mike gonna be forced in it?
I think it's it might just be Mike Martinez or Michael Martinez, but the Martinez is gonna be Eddie was telling me this idea where you kind of just do MRTNZ.
MRT. Oh, okay. Oh, like the kids do nowadays, right? They the skip the vowels and just put whatever sounds nice in the names.
I don't know. I just thought it was that could work with brand T-shirts and shit like that.
That's good.
A MRTNZ, people will be like, oh yeah, no, that was.
I mean, because apparently going into the T-shirt clothing business too, they charge you for colors and letters and all that shit too. So I guess might as well save the bag for yourself, whatever's left of it too, your budget.
Yeah, so I'm leaning towards that.
We're getting there.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Because I met a couple of Mikes before. I mean, Michael's a common name in whatever ethnicity.
Exactly.
But
oh my gosh.
I met a bunch of them that the Spanish ones always go for MYKE and stuff and leave it at that.
Nah, it's kind of weird to me.
No.
I mean, no offense. No offense if you have that.
No offense to the Michael community.
It just doesn't feel right to me, and I think it's just there goes me again. Not being able to just be okay with shit. It's just it just feels weird to me.
But Dr. Mike, I'm gonna have to put that respect on your name, even though you're not doctor as of yet, according to you. Otherwise, your transcript and your grades speak otherwise highly of you, if anything, too. And your background and your story and everybody that knows you, your affiliations and such, speak highly of you. So you get your roses, your flowers, all that too.
I appreciate it.
You're very young still, that's great, but might as well take them now.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
But as long as far as I'm concerned, I got to meet you through, of course, as always, shout outs to Brendan and all of them. Frankie Payne is mentioned, Frankie P also too as well. Realist Band, or the Realist Brendans, of course, the Bros Brendan, the Brendans. He was here briefly too, he helped out with the video.
He's gonna be in the video.
That's awesome, and might as well have him. He's always a presence. But again,
he's sure he's a presence. He makes sure that he's a presence.
That's the Brooklyn them him.
That's the Brooklyn.
Can't help it. But I got to meet him obviously through shout-outs as always to the Angel, AO Productions as well. But we got to meet, you and me, I mean, through Brendan.
Yeah.
So how does that even begin? How does that start off? Where does that connection,
the Brendan connection?
Yeah.
So the connection is Frankie and Eddie.
Frankie and Eddie.
Yeah, man, fucking years ago, I don't know, fucking high school era, 2010.
You know them both from high school, or?
No, so I knew them during my high school. We didn't go to the same school, but I was in a band called Daystruct with my boy Peter. Our band used to play in shows that their band was in. They were in a band called Scarecrows for Hire.
Yes.
So we knew each other from shows.
Mm-hmm.
I was playing with my band, and then they were playing on the same band.
And you were in that band with Petey since high school?
With Peter since high school, yeah.
Is it Peter or Peter?
Peter.
Peter, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, Peter. Since high school.
Yeah. We kind of cycled through guitarists and bassists, but...
Is that common in bands?
The cycling through?
Yeah.
It really depends. A lot of... I don't think it's super common. I know that there's a band... I know one local band that's fucking... It's just always a switch up in their lineup. Always a switch up. But you gotta do what you gotta do. But
now you always come off like a mellow guy, very chill, very calm, low profile, low key and such. I know you've never been the guilty party of rotating in or out of groups, most likely. But what do you think that stems from?
The rotating out. I mean, it's just like people's dynamics. I think whether that's like beef, drama shit, or I think most likely it might be. I'm just like hypothesizing at this point.
Of course.
It might be actually perspective in their music. Like sometimes band members, people get into bands because they think it's cool, and not because of a true passion.
Right.
So eventually that catches up.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And that's how you have members like, and then
Oh,
they don't take it too seriously, and so like I think most of the time it's a mismatch of that.
No butt heads with that, right? Some take it seriously, some
don't.
just want the
they
clout.
Just like end up leaving.
Right. Okay.
And then bands are without members. So.
What more do you want from me? Oh my God. Oh my God.
Eddie was a big part because he I remember one time it was like a backyard show, and he would like come up to me and he would just watch me play drums, and he was just like a fan. He'd just come up to me like, yo, you're fucking great. Like I was like, what the fuck, that's dope. You know, he didn't have to do that, but like that's the kind of person Eddie is. Like he just gets hyped off of somebody's like gift and like their talent, and like he gets inspired. And not only that, like he's very open to letting them know. And I think it's a big deal. I think it does a lot, and it like helps you connect with somebody. It could literally just be that one moment, just like that. We never really spoke, but just like those interactions were like, yo, I fuck with that, like, yo, you fire or whatever. Years go by, which is what happened with Eddie. And I'm in college now. I'm about to graduate, so we're talking about like 8 years later, 8 years later. And I see him. I'm on the bus heading to my college, and I see him in the bus, and I'm like, is that this guy? And I go on my Facebook, and I'm like, I think that's him. So I message him on Facebook, and I'm like, yo, are you on the Q64 bus right now? He actually got off a stop earlier. And I was like, yo, was that you on the Q64? And I get to my lab because I was doing research, and then he hits me up and he's like, oh shit, like, yeah, what the fuck? And I was like, yo, you go to Queens College? He was like, I used to, or like I was, but mainly Frankie was there doing a production. So it's just crazy how small like the chances of that is. I went to school for Queens College for neuroscience. Little did I know Frankie was on the other side of campus doing music production. Right. And you know, Frankie and Eddie are always together, so like he ended up going there because I didn't even know it was because of them. I knew there was a whole music studio in my college, just like on the music building, which I never went because I was on the science side. And if it wasn't for this one thing I'm about to say, who knows what would have happened. Eddie goes, yeah, I'm in the studio with Frank, come over. You know what I mean? Like, I haven't spoken to him in years, and he responded to me. Two, he felt like he fucked with me enough and invited me over to the studio. And I was like, yo, there's about to be a whole reunion right now. So I pull up, I'm like, what the fuck is a whole studio? And I see Frankie and Eddie for the first time since we was in those bands. It felt good. And first things first, I go in, I say, what's up? Sit down, like, okay, cool. And then Frankie goes, yeah, so get on the drums. I was like, so we just like fucking jammed, and like I got on the drums. It was dope. And it was like in a really like bad time in my life, in my journey. And so like I constantly tell them like, y'all deadass like saved me. Like I feel like y'all deadass saved me. It was oddly, the timing was too odd to not be a coincidence. Too odd to be a coincidence. It felt like it was meant to happen.
Oh wow, okay.
Because look at all that's happened since.
Ever since, yeah. I mean, you're growing deeper with Frankie in the band with Brendan.
Yeah.
You're
Now
always
I'm playing
working with
hip-hop.
Eddie.
Yeah, it's just like, it's crazy. And I know they've encouraged me actually to do this, to like delve outside of drums. And it's just the environment and your surroundings really do impact you.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
But you're still self-taught
Yeah, it's like self-taught, but through
self-practice.
self-practice.
Okay, so I mean, no short feet. You taught yourself how to do the drum thing.
Yeah.
Were you one of those kids, like growing up, if you remember it all, like playing with the pots
Yup.
and pans?
Yeah.
Okay, I was gonna say most likely that
for
stemmed
sure.
from there.
I mean, not like every day, but whenever there was like, I remember Freaky Friday. I don't know if you remember that movie.
Yeah.
And then, you know, the rock band, and then me and my sister, and like
God, that's when Lindsay Lohan was like on
Lindsay-
top of the world, like
Yeah, bro.
beat his ass in Hollywood.
Yeah. So I remember doing that thing
Nice.
one day. Put a bunch of boxes and pans or whatever. Play it,
But funny point you bring up though with the drums, and I'm fascinated by it too because bringing it back briefly to Brendan, I know he was, I believe, briefly in the church, and that's how he kind of discovered or tapped more into his music aspect too. But you just said someone put you on to drums by saying, "Hey, come to the church. You can, I guess, learn to play or like practice makes perfect per se." So did you have any religion involved in that too, or was that just like a keen opportunity and just to
Yeah,
kind of...
man. I was like 14. Like, I didn't grow up in church. I mean, we went to Catholic church. My mom, like, when we was like 8 and shit.
Yeah, the Spanish thing. You
Yeah,
go
the
like
Spanish
every
thing,
Easter.
and then it's just like,
Yeah.
my mom had to end up starting to work every day, and we just never went for years. So I never thought about like,
Yeah.
is there a God, Jesus, et cetera, et cetera. So I mean, it was mainly like just music, man. Like I didn't. Yeah. it's
But
just
you were
music.
able to use that to your advantage, though. Go to that church and practice with the drums. So did you become like the Sunday guy?
I ended up becoming their drummer,
Okay.
and then high school came. I kind of disappeared because high school. I don't know. And then I came back during college, and they welcomed me with open arms, and I became the drummer again. Yep.
Did you ever have this trouble when you attended church, even though you weren't affiliated with the church? Did you ever have the trouble of like if you're growing up, teenage boy, horny phases coming in, whatever?
So I was in high school. So when I went into high school, like
Yeah.
I left the church.
Oh, you did?
I was just like, not that I was like, hey, I'm leaving. I just like stopped being committed to coming every Sunday. And it just like kind of like faded. It was like a fade out type of situation because they had more drummers, so it was fine.
Okay, so they weren't losing out, like
Yeah,
if you
it's
left.
fine. So I didn't really have to like go through that.
Okay. Oh, I was gonna say because through the different churches that I've been through, my mom like dragged me to here, there,
Yeah.
whatever, too, trying to find her faith per se. I always had the trouble like when I was growing up, like I'd have to encounter in each and every one of them like different sets of like, I don't know what it is, but low key, a lot of them, at least the Christian ones, got like the biggest titties like hidden away underneath like these sweater vests and then Sunday best. Some of them had like such huge like tits on them. You see the cleavage anyway, and I'd say, is this for Jesus or is this for
Jesus?
How do you present yourself to him like this? There's no need for this.
This conversation took a whole fucking day.
But that was always a concern of mine too, because I
That
thought,
was a concern of mine.
because you see it in the Catholic Church, you see it in the Christians, wherever too. It's like, how is this appropriate for God?
What the fuck? Honestly, I don't know. Like, I have my criticisms with church. I think I have more criticism with church than with religion. Well, with like spirituality.
Yeah. Okay.
I say it that way. I don't really agree much with like a lot of like the
Ideologies.
strict
Okay, the rules.
the strict
Yeah.
rules and like the strict perspectives of things. Like they really judge a lot of people.
If you think about it, when they get so strict, depending on which one you're talking about, that's where they corrupt people the most.
Yeah.
Because they're so inhibited, they can't do things, they can't be themselves.
Yeah.
They're so
So
worried
like
about
it's like an
upholding.
opposite effect.
Exactly,
Of what they think is gonna happen.
It's creates some dirty people.
So yeah.
Yeah, but moving away from church though, okay, so
Yes.
we know now you learn first how to drum, do your thing with this. What comes after drums? What do you move on to next? Because I know you do, correct me if I'm wrong, you do the drums.
Yeah.
You've confirmed that. You do the guitar.
Yeah.
I've seen you do that, so I know. and I believe you also do piano.
Yeah, literally in that order.
Literally not. Okay, so I got it right.
Yeah, I had like the cops called on me a couple times
For what?
for playing the drums. I mean, it's understandable as fuck.
Oh,
Over
okay.
here in an apartment building as a little teenage kid playing fucking loud ass drums.
Would
I
you
didn't have
do
like
it, like-
electric drums. It was like real drums.
Were you doing like non-stop or just like so loud?
Like in the afternoon, but it's just loud as fuck. So they would come, and I remember the last time the cop came and was like, my parents don't really speak English. He
Yeah.
was like a white police officer with all authority he wanted to portray, and he was kind of like, I'll go in there right now and confiscate your drums.
Really?
Yup.
Because he came back so many times, or just you just wanted to scare
I
you?
don't think
or
that was the
whatever?
first time. I mean, it wasn't the only time we've gotten a complaint.
Uh-huh.
I literally feel like I've gotten the cops called on me 3 times. And
Just
I-
for drums.
Yeah, and I think that the last time that's what happened. And my parents were there, but like the cop is the cop,
Right.
so they're not from this country, so it's kind of like one of those things I noticed working in the medical field is that you see the difference. Like when there's like immigrants coming in to receive care,
Yeah.
they see doctors and like people of authority like with respect, and like they're like, oh, okay. Here, like grow up here and you're like 3rd generation, 2nd generation, like that doctor don't know shit, fuck out of here, like you can't treat me like that. It's like you have different mentality and different perspective. So that always stood with me. It's like,
Yeah, I get that because it's like you were saying, like parents raised outside of the U.S. have this like high authority vision for like doctors.
Yeah.
Even if they're like the foot doctor, they like say, "Oh, he's a
it's
doctor."
yeah.
They know better than me.
And the police officer, and like,
Yeah.
it's very like they don't feel like they have a right to speak up.
Right.
And so like, yeah, me being a kid and like getting yelled at and like threatened by that cop, like I feel like that always stood with me. And like seeing them like feel like they can't do nothing.
Did that ever stop you at all? Like, did you go through a phase you didn't play drums because of that, or?
Yeah, it was because I didn't want my drums to be taken away. I mean, I guess somebody could tell me now like they actually wouldn't have had the right to do that, but I don't know.
I think wouldn't they need a warrant or something?
I don't know, maybe they would. I don't know. But I get it. Like I was being loud. But eventually like I was like, okay, I can't play drums. So naturally I just like thought about like the guitar, picking up the guitar.
So then you transitioned because of like trying to be more subdued, more quiet, I
Yeah.
guess. So in the guitar, did you also teach yourself that, or how'd that work for you?
Yeah.
You taught yourself that too?
Yeah, that
Holy
shit was
shit,
not
this guy.
That shit was not fun.
Really?
Yeah, drums is so much more natural. Like it's 100% way more natural than guitar. Because guitar you have like notes, like actual notes, and like you could really feel like drums. You could feel like everybody. I'm not gonna say everybody, but most people like you feel movement, you feel rhythm, and that's what drums is. Like my mom finally like I convinced my mom. I asked her to like about the guitar situation, and we went and we bought like a used electric guitar. And I remember like I was mad excited when I didn't know shit. Like I remember I tried to learn Decode by Paramore. The you know that song?
No,
You probably remember.
I know Paramore. I don't know that song though.
Okay, it's the Twilight song. It's the Twilight theme song. Where Paramore. It was a long time
Probably,
ago.
yeah.
It's a long time ago. But I remember like I just like figured out the dun, 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 and I was just like hype. Just that. I was hype, and I called like my friend, my longtime friend, and I was like, yo, listen to this. Beep, 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 beep. That's Paramore Decode. It probably sounded like shit, but I was just so excited. And then after that, it was just super frustrating. And I was just like, what I tell everybody, because I wasn't like taught, what I tell everybody, which is the way I learn, is just like, first, like the instrument. 2, love music, of course. 3, try to learn a song you like.
Okay.
Just try, like, first that want to, have the want to learn, like I want to like play that, like I want to know how to play that. And then after that, that passion is gonna drive you to like figure it out. But yeah, there's these things called guitar tabs, and you just look through it, and that's what I really learned through. So yeah, but it's weird because I never really call myself a guitarist.
Okay, but you can't play.
But I could play.
Can you play just about anything you hear once and repeat it? No,
only drums.
Only drums.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is what I'm saying with guitar, because it's like notes, like a piano.
Okay.
It's like, it's weird, like I can't hear, like I don't know where I'd be at. It's hard for me to like play me something and then me figure it out 100% compared to like you could play me a song on for drums and I'll fucking do that shit. That's what I've done my whole life.
Interesting.
I've never looked at drum tabs or drum sheet.
You just pick that up and
I just listen to it and I could just do it.
Nice. So
obviously some songs require more practice.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, of course. Well, you're a doctor, of course. You're going to pick up like easily with the greatest of ease. But so then you go from guitar in that case.
Yeah.
Because the drums had to kind of be quieted down per se.
Yeah.
Where you were.
Yeah.
So then how you go from there to piano?
It was. I also don't call myself a piano. I think it's also.
Well, you can't be a piano.
It's ordered
You're a
by
pianist.
skill. Pianist. It's ordered by skill level as well. Drummer, guitarist, pianist. Pianist is the least because I don't have a piano.
Okay.
So it's just like at the church, I would just like want to try. And then over time.
And you just did the same thing. You just started.
Yeah, it's just like literally when I go on the piano, I'll play like this same composition that my band member Peter wrote through the program, but I like learned how to actually play it on the piano. So every time I get on a piano, like I'll be like, oh, that's a piano. I'll get on it. I'll play that. I'll play that thing. But from there, I think the other tip is curiosity.
Yeah.
So you're playing and then you're like, well, I wonder what happens if I move my finger here, like I do this chord or like this and that. So it's kind of like you're a baby and like you're trying to like, you're experiencing and observing and like you're examining things and you're like, oh, okay, then that does this and like this. So I think it all starts like that. So you kind of have to have that curiosity.
I mean, listen, that's already 3 things not so easy to learn. You taught yourself, each and every one of them too. What else besides that have you taught yourself music-wise at all? What else have you been hiding from us, if anything?
Music-wise? I mean, now I'm a singer-songwriter, so that's definitely something I never thought I was ever going to
Now
be.
you're practically Prince. So you do it all. Who needs a band? It's all me. That's always the greatest thing I remember from like Purple Rain. I think he would have done the album himself if he didn't need like someone at the same time playing like a bass or whatever. It would have just all been him.
Yeah, I used to think a lot about like doing everything myself, but I've learned that my preference still, I'm a believer of the fact that when you have multiple minds bringing their own creativity together, it's something greater than just you.
Right.
So I'm a fan of that.
Yeah,
I'm a believer of that.
I learned that from the last episode I did with Flow God, because it helps to build off others and play off each other too, because you'll come together at some common meeting ground, something you would have never thought of, they never tried on tapping themselves. Like you said, Eddie hyped you up by just, complimenting, acknowledging what you were doing with the drums. So I'm sure you tapped more into your drum potential, your persona now. And like you said, drums is number 1 for you. That's what you take to better than anything else.
Yeah.
So now on top of everything, you're a singer and a songwriter.
Yeah.
You would tell me briefly beforehand, like how you got into that, how that, uncovered itself.
Yeah. So, I was just in a really bad place, and it was very like a toxic time frame in my journey, and I think just naturally I gravitated towards. I bought myself an acoustic guitar. I saved the money and I bought myself an acoustic guitar, and that guitar has done more than just be a guitar. Like it gave me access to self-therapy, you can say. Like it was sort of like whenever something was going on and I'm trying to like figure it out, or like I'm just like contemplating, I'll like, I'll pick it up and I'll just play with it, and then I'll start, here and there, like in my room, I'll like try to sing a little bit. But it's not about the singing, but it's about the letting out of whatever I'm thinking and feeling, the emotions. And I mean, I think over time, like, it sort of led to where I am now, unknowingly. Like, it's weird, but that's why when I told you I showed my sister the song that I wrote for someone I lost to cancer, which came out of nowhere, but she was like, where did this voice come from? And I was like, I think if I had to think about it, I think it was through all the pain and just me trying to, like, you know, find therapy by picking up the guitar. And
so it's kind of like your release, if anything.
Yeah.
Turn into that.
Yeah.
Interesting. I mean, honestly, I'm looking at you right now, and I'm going to tell you it's not fair that you do all these things all in one man, one individual. You know, you can do this, you can do that, whatever, too. All these magical things with your fingers and direct yourself to and singing. And,
magical things with my fingers.
Yeah. That's all him right there. You can work that. But it's amazing because I got to see you do your thing with Brendan as a part of his band.
Yeah.
You know, you done your thing briefly on YouTube. You shared, you know, you put things up there too. You had what do you call it? A Tiny Desk audition too, I think you put up.
Yeah.
Which I love because that's the first time I got exposed to your vocals.
For real?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because I think that's the first thing you ever put out, though, right?
That's the first thing I ever put out.
Yeah. Well, I
wasn't going to put it out, but like.
But I'm sure, you know, Melly, Rob,
they
Eddie, Frankie, all them, shout outs to all
Yeah.
them. They weren't going to let you, like, live that down without putting it out. So how did that one come about? Because I know that probably wasn't going to be your first thing you would have put out on your own, right?
So yeah, there's a whole journey behind that. With the song, everything catapulted with the song I wrote for my professor who died from cancer. And she was a big mentor to me and, like, helped me out a lot. And, like, basically, like, fostered and, like, I give her the credit, a lot of the credit for me succeeding in school in Queens College.
Nice.
Just for giving me the environment, the encouragement. Like, that does a lot to somebody who's a first generation scholar. And, like,
what field?
She was a psych researcher.
Oh wow. Okay.
And I was in the neuroscience, but she was like the head department of the psychology program.
Nice.
And so she was like,
Yeah, you got to. I'm sure you know now as you're sharing with us, you got to value a good professor once you find them.
Yeah.
If not the
real.
first one, the good one you get at that whole time.
Yeah.
I lost one too, actually. We got very close. I just lost him like over a year ago. Not the COVID, but
Sorry,
cancer as well. Yeah, I love him to death, like an uncle practically. But if it was, like in my case, I'm a dummy, so it doesn't matter. But if it wasn't for him, having him first class, first minute, my first semester in college, I would have dropped out like that same week.
See, like, you never realize, like, the little impacts or, like, the little things. It may seem small, but it's like big impact.
They pick up on that one thing you're good at and
It's
they
crazy.
blow it up. And
So crazy.
that's enough for you to, like, keep motivated.
Dude, like, that shit's crazy. I wasn't, like, always this great of a student or whatever.
Nah.
But yeah, give it up to the teachers that saw something in us.
Yeah, but going
Encouraged
back,
us,
going back to the Tiny Desk though, how did that
Oh
come
yeah,
about?
so after the I showed the song to, like, Brendan and Ashley, and they were like, bro, what the fuck? And you know, they had a memorial service for the professor, and they were like, yo, you should do it, perform it. And I was like, ah. Anyway, etc. I performed it, whatever. I showed Mel and Rob, and they were like, what the fuck? Also. And they really, like, Rob offered and was very willing to, like, have me come over and, like, sort of like capture it, basically, because Frank captured the first ever OG live capture of me playing that song. And he sent me, or Eddie sent me to Rob, and then Rob heard it, and he was like, yeah, bro, like, whatever, like, he heard my story, whatever. He was willing to, like, help me out, and, like, he offered to, like, record it, whatever, like, just, like, as a demo. But then it turned into more serious shit after that. Just, like, you know, they saw something in me that I didn't see in myself. So they saw a potential beyond that one song. They saw that as just the first step to something that I don't even know what I'm capable of. And so they really, like, encouraged me to, like, keep doing it, and they kept me invited in their creative space. And Rob is like, his producer tag is Tildwave, TILDEWAVE. Yeah.
I thought it was Titty Wave at first. Too. I have dyslexia like that with certain usernames.
For real?
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't have dyslexia, but
okay.
No, and shout out to the dyslexic community. You know how they persevere, and like Adam Sandler's a whole director and executive producer. He's got dyslexia.
He's dyslexic? What?
Yeah. He's self-admitted and all that.
That's crazy.
But I'm saying like some usernames now, like how people, like young kids like you, drop the
Switch
vowels.
it up. Yeah.
You know, put numbers instead of letters and shit too. Like I get dyslexic right away with certain names too. So I thought at first he was Titty Wave, and I thought, well,
that's hilarious, actually.
well, I mean that's
it's the Titty Wave.
Yeah, we'll ride the wave,
That's your shit, actually, Titty Waves.
Titty waves, that'd be nice. I like to make the titties clap, if anything, too. But it's all right. If you're out there willing, I mean, consensual.
If you're out there willing,
make them clap.
Yeah. So, yeah. So they just
Shout
like
out to Rob, of course.
They just encouraged me, and we started like he was so excited, like he was like trying to be better at like getting better at programming and like recording using software and shit. Like he's also a songwriter and like loves playing guitar and like metal and like multi-instrumentalist as well.
Yeah, shout outs to Calor and what's the other one?
Analemma.
I always thought Analemma.
Yeah, so we would like, he would just show me ideas and I would just be like, wait, let me listen to that, put that back. And then I would like come up with melodies, and like next thing you know, we have like a song in a genre I never thought I could do. Like there's a Spanish song, there's a rock song. I was like, yo, what the fuck? Like I could do this? Like, yeah, it's so crazy. Because this is one thing, and I thought it was like a acoustic guitar song, and then I'm like doing all this other shit. I'm just like, what the fuck? I don't know. They just really opened my eyes to like a potential that I didn't know I
I'm
had.
bad with names though, but what is that titled? So if people want to look that up.
What?
The submission you made for Tiny Desk.
Oh, it's called Retro Synth. Maybe I should name it something else, but it's called Retro Synth. You can find it on YouTube. Mike Martinez, Retro Synth, NPR, Tiny Desk.
Yeah, definitely check it out. I mean, listen, he sounds smooth enough as is, as you can hear him right now. But believe me, when he fucking starts putting, keys and notes to it behind the vocals, it's like an angel just touched down and everything too.
I appreciate it.
It's
Actually, it was a big motivator when I put that out, and I had all these people like, because on my Instagram I only put like the beginning, yo, what's good, my name is Mike Martinez, and that's it. I didn't put something of me singing where they hear it or whatever. So that means people like went to YouTube and like actually went and looked for it, and like they listened to it. Not only that, they like commented, they reached out. Like I know there are people that know me because I'm not like famous, but like it meant a lot to see people that I've known since years ago, and they're like, what the fuck? And like actually take the time to check it out, take the time to like let me, like they got so impacted and motivated to just like reach out to me and be like, yo, what the fuck? Like this is crazy. This is great. And then I got subscriptions on YouTube. Like I'm a big YouTube person. Like I love going on YouTube, and I'll just like look at a bunch of videos. I'll look at live video performances of bands, music videos, politics and shit that's going on in the world. I just love YouTube. Yeah. So you already know, number one rule, you go to a video, you go straight down to the comments and you just look at all the funny shit that's there. So I just never thought, I'm like, yo, I'm getting notifications on YouTube saying you got a subscriber. Like I was just like, what the fuck? I have subscribers. I have one video like that I just put up, and I have like subscribers. Like, ooh, subscribers. Like, what is happening? It's like a very surreal moment, but like I sat with it. I'm just like, I may be the only one sleeping on myself. Like,
welcome to a day in my life. After hitchhiking to work, I simply tried to go in and be on time, and was sent away by a security guard that I've known for years.
Oh, where you going?
I may be the only one that's like not believing in myself.
Oh yeah, because I think the thing with a lot of creatives ends up being you're the one that subdues yourself.
Yeah, I'm my own
99% of the time.
Actually, There's a song. Retro Synth. Yeah, it's already out. The acoustic version. There's like a official version that has like very cool like Stranger Things synths that Rob wrote the instrumentals.
Okay.
And I did the vocals over it, but I made it into an acoustic song because I was trying to finish the lyrics. I was trying to finish the lyrics to the instrumental that he made, but I felt that song took me a long time, and it was like fucking me up. So one day I was just like, let me see if I strip it down and bring it down to like the core level of like what this song is about. And I try to figure it out on the guitar, and that's what you hear in the YouTube video.
Nice.
Very stripped down, and you like hear what I'm talking about.
Like
and that
bones.
song is about being my own worst enemy. And there's a podcast that you did with Frank.
Okay.
I still remember. I have it on my phone, and here and there I would listen back to it. And you bring up everybody in the band.
Yeah.
And he describes everybody, and he's like, yeah, Franny has like a producer tag now. Brendan's came from this to this, and then he's like, and Mike, let me tell you something about Mike. Dude, that dude is a genius. And bro, Mike, if you're listening to this, you're your own worst enemy, man.
I remember that episode. No, yeah.
I was just like, bro, what? That is the realest shit I've ever heard.
About Mike. Mike is just a musical genius.
Really?
He's literally, Mike, I hope you hear this, but you're your worst enemy, bro. If you stop being your enemy, and he actually sent me something today. I gotta listen to it. I'll listen to it when I get home. He sent me some stuff. But man, that guy's fucking talented.
Yeah.
How? One, he can sing. He can play guitar amazing. Like, he's really good at guitar. And then he plays drums and piano and like, did I say he could sing? Mike, you can sing. Can you just release? I recorded like a little demo at my house of some of his singing, and it's like, bro, it put me to, like, it almost made me cry. I was crying. Fuck it. I was crying. I was fucking crying. He's really good. And I hope he really just stops being so self-conscious and like, and just blossom and just be that artist that you're born to be. I know he's also a doctor, by the way. He's going to be my doctor once he gets his license.
In training or?
He's a doctor in training, yes.
Oh, shit.
I always call him, I always tell people he's a doctor, but he's actually a doctor in training. He's trying to be a physician assistant.
And I was just like, oh man, shout out to Frank, bro. Like,
Shout out to Frank.
that
I
shit
remember
stood
that
with me
episode.
like forever. And like, I still have thoughts, like, I want to put that shit in. If I ever do a music video for that song, like, I want to like input that audio.
Oh,
in the
yeah,
beginning.
like a little drop or whatever.
Yeah, I want to put that in the beginning, being like, yeah, you're your own worst enemy. Like, you just gotta blossom into the artist you're meant to be. I like fucking remember this shit. And yeah, man, like, I feel very wholesome right now. Just remembering that, like.
No, and he was right.
And then
because
Eddie shouted that out too. Like, I actually found out about the podcast because Eddie promoted it on his story, and he was like, yo guys, like, follow my boy Mike, like, he's super talented, like, yeah, just encourage him to drop his shit. Because I have all these demos, and like, I haven't dropped anything.
I was gonna get to that question too. Like, are you sitting on like a stack or a room full of demos, or
I mean, it's not a lot, but it's a good amount. It's like an EP amount of stuff.
So it's not a lot then, really.
Yeah, it's not a lot,
But it's there.
it's there. Yeah.
Now, has that been sitting there waiting to be released, or is it like, not just yet, I'm not ready?
So the issue is just like officially recording it, mixing, mastering. There were like some issues there. I don't really know exactly what's like the hold up, but I don't know. I guess I have faith that it's gonna work out in the end. Or I might just fucking release everything as demos the way they are that I recorded with Rob.
So then I guess you got more stuff with Rob, if anything, too.
Yeah.
Or is it just...
So I came to Rob with 3 songs
Okay.
that I wrote on my own acoustic guitar, whatever. One of them being the Professor song called The Melody. And then after that, it was like those ideas that he was showing me here and there, and then me realizing the potential it has and like putting words and like melodies to it.
Right.
So there's that set of songs too. I'm excited for those, man. Like, those are really good. And like, me and Rob, we like make great fucking team, like songwriting wise, just like really great. And so I just hope that continues.
It is time to big you up because, you know, you've been overdue for this episode right here. Yourself, you're the main focus, the star and everything too. Now listen, we ran through the gamut of drums, guitar, piano, singing, writing, you know, making people cry just to hear you sing, but for good reasons though, just because how sweet it is too. Now on top of that too, you didn't just go to school for the music stuff, you just happened to delve into a little bit too, because Frankie and Eddie of them were involved. You went to school to become
a whole other thing.
A whole nother thing?
No, I didn't go to school for music.
No, you went for school for?
Neuroscience.
Neuroscience. Now, what does that lead into once you graduate all that together?
PA.
A PA.
But I know you're about to say, in the future, doctor.
Eventually.
He wants me to be a doctor.
Humble for now. Well, no, that was actually Frankie. He said he wants you to be his PCP, which makes sense. Since you're a doctor already.
I don't know if I can, actually. I don't know. Yeah, like most of the time when you go into a hospital setting, like you kind of see like or clinics, people see PAs, they don't even know it. They just think they're doctors.
So do you think because you got these sweet ass skills with your fingers as far as all the instruments you know and all that, are you going to be like a master at the scalpel? Are you going to be doing
I don't know.
brain surgery like with...
I don't think I'm that good with my hands. Like when I think about like somebody being good with their hands, I think about like a carpenter, an artist, like a sculptist or whatever. I don't know if that's the right word. But I read somewhere that you don't have to be that. It's more about practice, and which is, from my record, shows that I can do that. I can like get good at something by just like putting hours into it.
Well, then that's like a philosophical question. How many times or how many brains does a brain surgeon have to practice on before he gets good, per se?
Yeah, I don't know. I answered that in a few years. Well, yeah, I'm definitely interested in the ER department.
Okay.
Just because like one of the reasons why I got into like I wanted to know medicine is because a big core of who I am is like I just want to help people, and I think that in emergency situations like that's a lot what you see, especially like in the hood and shit like that. Like people get stabbed up or shot up. Like I want to know what to do in situations like that. Let's say like there's a big accident or a big car crash, like I want to, if I'm in the scene by chance, like I want to know like how to help, anything like that. And so I feel like maybe like in the ER department, that's where you get those sort of like situations happening. So if I put myself in there, that's the practice to have those skills on lock. So if I'm outside, whatever, I'm like ready. Like, you know, think about somebody who's not in the ER department. They're like in some other clinic doing like, you know, regular stuff. Over time, like they're gonna forget. I think they're gonna like forget. They're gonna be rusty on like what the fuck to do in a certain situation. So I just like to know. I like to know things. I like to know how to help. Like I remember my girlfriend had like a big cut on her finger. Yeah. And I was mad at myself for not knowing like what to do and like if it needed stitches. Yeah. But in the end, I convinced her to go because I was like, I think it needs stitches, and I was right. So I was like, she got stitches. She's all good now. But so, yeah.
I mean, listen, I can see you now with your scrubs on. You know, I'm clean, stats. Bring me a body. I'm ready to work. Whatever.
Bring me a body.
Yeah. You know, alive somewhat so I can, you know, keep it alive. Yeah. You can't work on dead bodies.
Patient.
Yeah, patient.
We'll humanize them. Body. Bring me a body. Next body.
I mean, but the good thing is, though, as good a person as you are, as humble you are, thank God it's you being a doctor and not like Frankie and Eddie being doctors, because they would be like Beavis and Butthead in the operating room. Like, I mean, I can picture, you know, Frankie working on the brain, like pulling on stems.
I picture Frankie fucking being a joker.
Yeah. Like if I pull this...
If I pull
this stem, bro, it moves his balls. Yo, just watch.
Yeah, it would just... it moves... Yeah, it's Frankie. Sorry, Frankie, but it's true.
Yeah. Dr. Frankie.
It's true. Yeah.
And shout outs to him actually too, Frankie Payne. I think I might have mentioned it last episode or in a past one too, but congrats on his baby.
Yes, congrats. Julissa. He's a whole dad now.
He's a whole dad.
My
baby
gosh.
Payne. I need to have him back on too, so I can name that episode "Baby Pain."
Baby Pain.
we
Oh my
The
God.
world debut of the baby.
Baby Pain.
Yeah.
He's gonna bring him on set.
It's my baby.
It's my baby.
Baby Pain.
He got the pain. Baby Pain.
Well, Julissa had the pain, but I got the pain. I named the baby. That was hard. You know, considering
Shout out to
her,
Julissa.
Yeah, shout out to her too for actually, you know, birthing and everything too. That's lovely. The miracle
She's
of
so
life.
nice.
Yeah, no, she's awesome. Absolutely. Man, so on top of being a doctor now in the near future, you know, you're trying to be humble and very, like, you know, discreet about it. I get it, but still not too. Listen, you got this whole Dreams project coming out, or
Yes.
it's like you said, I think it's not a full-on song, it's like more of a message.
Yeah, like
out there.
when I say song, people think like, oh, intro, verse, chorus, verse 2, chorus. You know, like a very structured song, that typical song that you hear. It's not really like that. It's more of like a very like a spiritual message. It's basically about. I wrote it as coming from like a real frustration from having like this struggle with this being an artist, wanting to do music, but then having this conflict of like, okay, but like, you know, gotta be realistic. You have to have a career, and you have to like, music is not gonna be this, and you know, I come from an immigrant background, and so it's like, so like I understand it.
Yeah.
There's definitely truth in that.
Yeah.
You have to like, you know, especially because I just want I don't want all my mom's sacrifices to go in vain. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like I'd be fucked up to do that. But yeah, so it came from a frustration. Like, I didn't choose to be a creative, and it's just like, but I'm creative, so I feel like I have to. I was just struggling. Like, I didn't know what to do. I was like, I need to do this. That's gonna take time, but I can't not do this. It's who I am. So so that's partly why like I chose like the PA route. I just felt like balance is the key of life.
So was it more like, you know, you could probably do more in the medical field, what you're going for,
I
but
know I can go into med school.
the time constraints pulling you away from being creative is kind of what stops you?
Yeah, I'm scared. I'm scared that I'm going to lose that part of myself. Like, I'm just gonna fully dive into the books, and like the creative side of me is just gonna be forgotten and like not watered. Like, if you think of it like a plant, I'm not watering it, and eventually I'm gonna die.
Right, you let it wither away and die.
Yeah, it's gonna wither away, and like eventually that's gonna catch up to me. So I'm gonna be working as a doctor. Like, I'm a doctor, but it's gonna be a huge part of me that's gonna feel like it's dead.
Yeah.
And eventually I'm gonna be miserable, and then I'm gonna be a miserable doctor, and that's not gonna be able to take care of his patients. You know, it's just gonna like, I just feel like I think too much. Honestly.
No, you're right. A frustrated doctor would be the worst thing to get.
Yo, so
Bad
I think of it
mood,
like that.
no sleep, or just, you know, oh, I couldn't write this song, couldn't finish this shit. You know, I gotta
Stressed.
operate this asshole
All the
right
time.
here. Yeah.
What the fuck? I'm not looking forward to that. But yeah, so I think of it like that. I think probably too much, but maybe it was a good thing I thought of it like that.
Do you think the same could happen if you went the other way? Like, if you fully invested, let's say now, I'm fully creative, fuck the doctor shit,
Yeah,
or I'll get to it when I want to. I'll take a break from school, whatever.
It's a good question. It's a very good question, because before she passed away, my professor, we was in the lab, and it was me, her, and one other lab student, and I brought up the question: if you was to win the lottery right now, would you still be here doing what you're doing? The lab student was like, nope, I'll be in Paris somewhere painting, because she liked to paint.
Yeah.
I was like, and she said, my professor said, that's a good question. I feel like because she was with an Asian background, she felt like she had to be this and that. Everything was like laid out, and her dad was like a physicist, this and that. So it was very like laid out for her. And she went to MIT. She's a genius.
Yeah.
And she felt like she never had the opportunity to like sort of like explore other things that she could be good at, creative wise or whatever. But she felt lucky that where she landed, she loved what she's doing. And then throughout that journey, she met her husband and had 3 kids. And I was like, very wholesome. And then she turned the question over to me, and I was like, oh, I didn't think about answering this. And I was sitting there for a minute, and I was like, you know, with money, you can do a lot in music.
Yeah.
it like you could do a ton. Like right now I'm thinking like I don't know how the next music videos are gonna happen. I don't know how I'm gonna record any of the stuff that I have, which is why I'm like I might just release them as demos. I don't know. So it just takes out all those issues.
Right.
But then I was like, and then you got marketing, advertising, all that shit.
Oh yeah.
Then and then I was like, but I feel like at the end of the road somewhere, if I end up, let's say music pans out and I'm just doing that, whatever. At the end of the road, I'm gonna say, but I never learned how to save somebody's life.
Right.
And so I think that would like, it would still be a regret. Like it would like haunt me.
Oh damn.
So
That's
I think
true.
that it sort of like solidified me being like, you know what, this is something I want to do. So it's just the balance. As a PA, I can still do all those things.
Okay, so in a sense you're settling, but you're still doing what you intended to either way.
Yeah. So it's basically like you have to let go of the pride.
Yeah.
Of the MD. People see my transcript, they're like, yo, what the fuck? Why aren't you doing MD? Like, you get scholarships and all that. It's like, because they don't know the struggle. Or maybe I'm wrong, but right now I feel like it's the right decision.
Okay.
It feels safe. It feels smart.
Yeah.
And one time I asked the anesthesiologist, and he was like, "Yeah, like there's a doctor I work with that, he does music. Yeah, he still does music. Like he plays like sometimes like on Thursday nights in the bar." I'm like, you see, that's not the same thing I'm trying to do.
No,
like I'm
no.
not at the bar every Thursday nights. Like. No, like more like I already did that shit. Like I'm trying to do something way more than that. So I think the formula, or like the good environment into which to do that is a balance. Key balance being PA, which there's less likely of a chance that you're gonna be taking that home. Like doctor like 24/7.
Right.
So like PA would be more manageable, work-life balance.
That makes sense.
I could work like 3 days and have the rest of the week off.
Right, you'd have like an actual schedule you can go by.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so it would give me the flexibility to water the other side of me, water the other parts of me. Yeah.
In between you. Right.
And so like if you really think about it like that, all that's gonna equal, potentially, hopefully, is happiness. And like, just like, and then it's gonna translate and it's gonna project in everything that I do and how I interact with people and my patients. Like basically going back, comparing that to like the frustrated doctor, and it's, I feel like I look at it as like that's a much better scenario, I think.
Yeah.
I hope it turns out that way, but yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, God forbid you like, if you're caught off like you're caught in the wrong mood, or whatever, you need to save somebody. They just coming in for like some stitching, whatever, and you're like sewing their asshole back together, God forbid, or something like that instead.
This guy an asshole, bro.
I'm just saying. I mean, you know what? I think I'm stuck on it because
There's so much other shit, and he stays on assholes.
I think I'm stuck with the fact that I had to go to the proctologist the other week too. Of all things, I got a hemorrhoid.
Oh,
that's
shit. That's actually pretty common though.
36 years I made it without no hemorrhoids. Not till then I get a hemorrhoid, I gotta go to the doctor just for him to finger me and say, hey, guess what, hemorrhoid.
Yeah.
I knew it. But like I knew it too, doc, so I came to you too.
I knew it.
Yeah.
Fuck, that sucks.
Yeah. But guess what he told me? I don't know if you can validate this since you're a medical expert, I guess. Doctor, please. He told me that basically, and I guess it makes sense too because I'm guilty of it, I sit too long on the toilet. I'm one of those. I'll sit there till my legs go to pins and needles.
Yo, but that's
Can't
me.
feel it.
Oh shit.
And he was like,
I gotta watch out.
because he ran through everything possible, whatever your lifestyle choices, no, whatever else you do, no. And he's like, do you sit on the toilet too long? I was like, yes. He's like, how long? I was like, oh, I can't feel my legs.
I be on my phone, on YouTube. There goes YouTube again. Here goes YouTube again. Yeah, so he said that?
Yeah, he said, sitting too long on the toilet gives you hemorrhoids too. So watch out.
So how do you like not sit for too long?
Well, I mean, I would surpass the fact when like my legs were like beyond numb, like I can't feel nothing.
Yeah, like I get up and I'm like, I can't move. I can't walk.
And
so
I'm already heavier,
out.
so then on top of that, I got more weight to like add on to like numbness as well. So like,
damn.
yeah, I'm dead legs when I get up too. So I gotta wait like a minute, then like kind of gather my strength. So yeah, he said no more doing that. And ever since I've ignored his rules, but still, you know, I'm still like, I just put the ointment on and I'm like, I think I'm ready to go. But you know,
cool.
It's getting there.
I'm glad it's getting better.
Thank God. Pray for me, please. The week that I get detected with, of all things, me, a rather clean guy back there, a hemorrhoid. First time ever. This is the kind of first time ever you're never proud of, but first time ever in my life, a hemorrhoid. He tells me, now you need a follow-up visit. Now you need to eat the fiber diet and stop sitting on the toilet so long, idiot. You don't need to sit there till your legs are like pins and needles. That causes hemorrhoids. But it's like, but doctor, I'm 36. I never had a hemorrhoid in my life ever. Now I fucking get it out of all fucking weeks. He's like, well, have you had to do any strenuous activities and or labors besides sitting on the toilet for too long, stupid? And I was like, yes, doctor. This week is the week I have to review Suicide Squad from 2016 from my fucking recap review podcast. Who has been watching? Could that be it? It's like, there you go. You fucking idiot. That's what did it to you. Besides sitting on the toilet too long, of course. That is legit medical advice. He told me, like, don't sit too long on the toilet. You're going to cause these things to you. I don't even know what to add anymore to this list because, like, I ran out of, you know, paper to write down this stuff on. So what else do you have in mind, if anything, now? You got Dreams coming out soon enough, the video, and I'm guessing the single promotion release and such.
Yeah.
Do you have an EP in the works, I think you mentioned? Soon enough?
I mean, yeah, if it comes out to be that, I think I might just like release them. I might just get the demo sent out to get mixed and mastered and just do it like that. Not to half-ass it, but I'm super perfectionist, so that's also why I haven't just like released it. I want it to be like,
just right.
Yeah, I want it to be just right.
But does that actually exist? Just right? Perfect?
I think the goal is for it to sit right with you.
You're comfortable enough to put it out.
Yeah, and I know that that's very hard to do. But I think I trust that there's moments where I'm like, it's good.
Okay.
It sits right with me.
Now listen, you're fairly young still. You got a whole life ahead of you. You're barely past 25, so you got to like at least 50. You're Spanish and you're young, so I think you got plenty of time left ahead of you. I'm old, I'm disheveled, I got my crow's feet showing, you know, I look like a tire ran over my forehead already.
No.
It's so bad, I'm a mess. But if I can ask you, as young as you are, what goals do you have, let's say within the next 6 months, whatever, doctor-wise, music-wise, whatever, and then eventually, what are your big-term, long-term goals?
I'm applying to PA school. I'm in the process of doing my applications actually right now. They're like 98% done. I have to like submit it, and then maybe I hear back from Cornell getting accepted.
Ooh,
and within the 6 months, yeah, I'm hoping submit and get the interviews and the offers and like get accepted into a program. That's
nice.
The academic side. The other side, for the Dreams, everything we filmed today. I mean, I have faith in everybody. The dancers were fucking amazing. The extras pulled up. Like, I'm just so grateful. Shout out to you guys. I have to, like, shout out to the dancers, shout out to the extras, shout out to Alex, like, and his assistant, like, Marquise pulling through last minute for BTS footage. I don't know, like, I'm a believer in nobody can make it success-wise on their own. Like, you need sort of, like, support. Like, yes, I did all the studying, all the whatever, but without people encouraging me, without people, like, I don't know. I just believe that you can't really succeed on your own.
It's hard to do. You need the network. You need to have a circle of people you trust and all that too. Yeah, definitely.
You just need, I mean, I'm not a big networking person, which is a flaw as an artist. You need to like put yourself out there. Like Brendan is really fucking good at that.
Yeah.
Really fucking good.
Oh yeah.
He's not shy. Like he was like hey man, I'm like reserved. I'm like the very typical artist. Just like when it comes to music, I'll glow up. When it comes to like
the switch, I see that
like
switch.
the business aspects, I'm just like yeah, I don't like you know, it's a flaw, but I have to get better at that. Well, I don't know what I was talking about.
No, you're good. But eventually, when you become that PA, soon enough, of course, would you ever completely give that up if the music really takes off like that, or?
I'm actually concerned this question will come up in my interview for the school.
Oh, so you could practice it.
I mean, I don't know if I should like finesse the interview so that I don't even talk about music the way that I'm like actually trying to pursue it, just so they could not ask me that question.
Maybe they frown upon that too.
Yeah,
Maybe
you know what I
steer
mean.
away from it.
Yeah, they'd be like, this other candidate
Some junky
wants to
creative.
do 100% this.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know whether to be completely honest with them or not. Because if I'm being completely honest with myself, like, both those things are a part of me.
Well, I think isn't part of that whole college procedure too, or like advanced schooling, whatever. Don't they typically ask you, oh, what else do you do besides,
Yeah, but then there's like they don't really want you to. I don't know.
Indulge.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't know. But the truth is that I know that I want my degree first. I want to have the skills before anything happens. So, but like I said, as a PA, I think that because this is the beginning of the journey, it gives me time to balance both. Before, if it happens, there's like the music like fucking blows up, and then I decide to do that route.
Yeah.
One thing that people have told me, I think my oldest big half brother told me, was like, when you have your degree, like nobody could take that away from you.
Nope.
You know your shit.
That's
like
true.
You went through it, you have the skills, like maybe you become rusty, you look over them, you know what I mean? Like, but nobody can take that away from you. If I'm a PA X amount of years and music blows up and I decide to do music, I'm still a PA.
Yeah.
As long as I do the recertifications, but even that, like I'm still the PA, like I still have the skills, I still have the experience, and I find comfort in that. So that is why I feel like I know that I don't want to, like if it happens in mid-school,
Yeah.
I want to finish school. Because like that's the best scenario. Finish school and then now nobody can tell me what to do. Just like, let's say I don't want music to be the only income.
Okay.
Because I think it takes the creativeness out of it and
That makes sense.
the core of what it's meant to be.
At some point, it becomes compromised, right?
Yeah.
Because then you're just relying on that as income.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't want it to. I don't want money to infiltrate my creativeness.
You're gonna have a hard task in front of you then if you're gonna try to do both.
Yeah.
Tough times.
Because if you're right.
But it makes tough people.
I don't know. It's a lot to think about, but I think right now it's still a PA seems like there's a greater chance for balance.
Yeah.
There's a greater chance to figure it out as you go.
Okay.
Rather
That makes
than
sense.
like MD.
I mean, if you can take this with you, of all people, Sofia Vergara, you know who that is, of course. How can you miss those titties? They're in your face like that. She's beautiful.
I don't know who the fuck that is.
You don't know?
Who?
Sofia Vergara.
Who's that?
Modern Family, the big titty Spanish.
I think I saw something where she's like the most paid female.
I think she's the most
actor or whatever.
one of them, yeah.
Yeah.
But as amazing looking as she is, looks alone. She was going to be, of all things, back in Colombia, a dentist or something like
shit.
that. Like, she was like, I think she said like a semester away from fully graduating, whatever.
She's wildin'.
Yeah, but then Pepsi came along and saw her strolling on the beach with back in 1990, whatever, like just barely turned 18, whatever, tits and ass and looking amazing as Colombians do. They said, nope, we got to snatch you up and bring you to America and do this thing with you too. And she became a model off of that strength only.
What the fuck?
She was on the brink, the very tipping point of becoming a dentist, full blown.
Damn. I would have been like, nah, hold up.
So I mean, that could happen to
Pepsi
you.
would have been like, all right, fuck you then. Yeah, I'm very paranoid about that because my dad used to be a singer.
Oh, okay, did he?
Yeah, never thought that I was gonna. Yeah, but my mom raised me, but he was very promising. Like in Puerto Rico, it was really about to be it started from the bottom. Now we hear story. He was like selling like peanuts or whatever, and this Pepsi was half Pepsi. Here we go again, Pepsi around the world. They had a competition, Pepsi competition in Puerto Rico, and he was like 18 or 17, 16, some shit like that.
Yeah.
And at the studio where he worked at, where he was selling like peanuts or whatever, they had a competition and they knew him. And I guess he would like talk to them and they'd be like, yeah, like I kind of sing, like honestly, whatever. And they like gave him an opportunity. They was like, yo, let's put him on. And they put him on that competition, and he's singing with people who have like coaches and like training, and like he was just by himself, and he fucking won. He fucking won the Pepsi competition.
Okay.
And had like a, you know, I guess I don't know what the deal was, recorded out studio album under this label or whatever the fuck, I don't know. But he told me this story where in the midst of that, they were like, oh, record this type of music. And he's more of like an old school, like he likes like slow love songs, like ballads.
Balladas, yeah.
Ballads. And they kept like insisting, like, you know, this is like the new shit, like this is what's gonna be hip, whatever. And he's like, I really just want to do that. And they basically was like, all right, fuck you then. And like they did the album the way he did it, and then that's it. They like dropped him and like,
oh wow, it was like one and done.
Yeah, it was like figure it out on your own, no promotion, no backup, like not any of the stuff that they were supposed to do after the.
Oh, because they want to play with
because
alone.
Yeah.
Ah, damn.
And he I remember him telling me this with like, yo, bro, that must be like a big ass feeling of regret. He was like, I didn't have anybody to tell me otherwise. I didn't have anybody to be like, listen, do this, and then later on you can do what you want. So I think a lot about moments where, wait, maybe that was the moment and I just fucked up my entire future. Maybe I was supposed to do this.
I mean, if that's what you want to do, if you feel like, hey, I could pay my way into the game, go ahead, but I doubt it's gonna work, you know?
Yeah. Keep paying to be stupid otherwise, if you're willing to do so.
I ain't say all that, but yeah.
Well, I'm saying it for you.
My flaw again is the networking.
Well, that too.
You know,
well,
like
I mean,
I gotta
listen,
be able to go.
You got Brendan to learn from, of course.
Yeah.
Great example. You got Rob to learn from as far as like creating the vibes and atmosphere.
Yeah.
What the sounds that's captured and all that too. You got Eddie, Frank, you got Mel, a whole support system.
Yeah.
And now on top of it, you got me too. I've been singing your praises for as long as I can. Singing is something I never do because I sound like a dying moose when I try to like harmonize or whatever. You have the voice of an angel. That's as simple as I can put it. It's angelic. It's like having parted open.
It's okay.
This
is why I say, like, I don't identify yet as a singer. I don't know. What's that imposter syndrome? Just doesn't feel. I still see myself as a drummer. This is all new to me, but I don't really think like I'm a singer the way like Beyonce and like all these nice soulful singers like I've come across very times, especially at church, Christian church. Like,
oh yeah.
Like damn. So I find comfort in like identifying more as like just an artist, because it's not like me singing a Beyonce song. Like I could kill that, you know. Like nah, I can't do that. I'm more of like just like a natural, like just like I pick up my guitar and however I sing it comes out. It's just how I sound. Like I don't know how to do like rolls and shit like that, you know. So I don't really see myself as like a singer. That's why I find more comfort in like singer-songwriter. Yes, I know there's singer in that, but it's like sing my songs.
Gotcha.
You know? Yeah. Like drums, I can play whatever.
Yeah.
Sing, I can't sing whatever. So that's why I feel like less of a singer and just more of an artist.
Okay.
Because I'm creating something out of whatever's inside me. Real quick, the Dreams is about, as you'll see in the video, what I try to, it could mean a lot of things, which is what I liked about it. But what I try to portray sort of like in the video is basically like people being imprisoned with this 9-to-5 cycle, and like especially you see it a lot in like low-income neighborhoods. You ever seen like, I don't know if you saw the movie what's that movie, the latest Disney cartoon movie with the music,
not Luca, Soul?
Yeah, Soul.
I loved it.
There's a scene in Soul
Yeah.
that I thought about for this music video a long time ago. When they're in the subway, everybody's like fucking dead, like spiritually, and I'm like, that's what I see all the time, and that's what I see in my neighborhood all the time. Like, so I tried to like, this is where that also came from. It came from my creative, realistic struggle of like being an artist, but also having to be realistic as an immigrant, whatever, and like having a career, whatever. But also it can relate to just like having to like, you know, the 9-to-5 cycle, and people end up forgetting to chase their dreams and like pursue things that they want to do. And next thing you know, 50, like 20, 30 years go by.
Yeah.
And you never like took that step. And it's just like, it's a cycle.
Yeah, then you live with that regret.
It's a cycle. It's just like, so it's just like, it's about that. It's about people like waking up, you know, bringing life back to those people that are in the subway, like every day, going to work, just like. I did want to also like tap into like the story relating to like the immigrant story, you know? So, you know, we dreamers. So my sweater says, we work, we strive, we thrive, kids of immigrants. So shout out to Kids of Immigrants. It's a brand. You can check that out. But yeah, so I just wanted to sort of like top that side of things as well.
Nice. And yeah, I guess
whatever it means to you, I shouldn't have actually said what the fuck the video. I should have just let Yak
trying to dictate dreams out here.
Yeah,
but that's fine.
Fuck everything I just said. Just like feel it, interpret it, experience it the way you fucking see it.
Nice.
Please don't watch this video.
Yo, it's over. Alright, it's over. It's over. Move the mic. Move the mic.
Thank you.
Alright.